Splatland! After traveling here by the local metro, not to be confused with the deep sea metro, you and your adorable small fry companion are immediately dazzled by the incredible city before you. Here in the Splatlands, chaos reigns supreme. With all the confusion over the disappearance of the great Zapfish, again, you decide to follow a mysterious figure through a sewage drain to a place outside the city. There you meet the once great Captain Cuttlefish, now just going by Cuttlefish, who definitely enlists you in the new Squid Beak Splatoon, and tasks you, the new Agent 3, with investigating the crater, now covered by a strange fuzzy ooze. The goopy stuff is nigh invulnerable, but luckily your fishy companion is able to devour them after ingesting some power eggs. Yes, there is a sunken scroll explanation for this. Reaching the bottom of the crater, you and Cuttlefish have a run-in with longtime nemesis DJ Octavio, who blames Cuttlefish for having stolen away his mate. A proper beatdown ensues, and upon interrogating him, the true enemy sneaks up below the party and kidnaps Cuttlefish, dropping everyone down into the depths. Waking up, Agent 3 now finds him or herself in Alterna, a once beautiful underground bunker and previous settlement of the last remnants of humanity. These survivors chose scientists to be their leaders, who eventually discovered a crystal substance that could manifest thoughts into reality. Basically, by placing a ton of crystals in the ceiling, the survivors wished an artificial sky into reality. Don't ask me how this works, it makes no sense. How do I know this? Luckily, the survivors' database called Orca survived the fallout for us to have that juicy lore. Although they prospered for around 2 generations, the hubris of Alterna's scientist leaders led to a rocket launch going awry and the whole colony dying out. Luckily, their deaths were not in vain, since the crystals that fell from the ceiling, imbued with humanity's hopes and dreams, eventually granted the marine life within Alterna sentience, jumpstarting the modern world of Splatoon. Anyways, with Cuttlefish now missing, Agent 3 sets out on a mission to find him, but not without the unexpected company of Squid sisters Callie and Marie. The third silent inkling of them is actually the player character from Splatoon 1, returning as the new captain of the new Squid Beak Splatoon. If you didn't realize by now, Cuttlefish is the Squid sisters' grandpa. And thus, the new Agent 3 sets out before the gang is rudely interrupted by Deep Cut. That's right, the leaders of the Splatlands are actually full-time scavengers. Why says it's called a day job? You should look it up. So, for the third time now, finally, Agent 3 embarks on a quest with Small Fry to explore Alterna and rescue Cuttlefish, defeating the individual members of Deep Cut along the way and collecting treasure. During the journey, Callie and Marie successfully contact Gramps a few times, revealing to us the player that he's being held captive by Mr. Grizz? Wait, hold on. That? After traversing all of Alterna's islands, the new Squid Beak Splatoon realized that Cuttlefish is being held near the rocket ship on the central island, currently surrounded by fuzzy ooze. Your Small Fry isn't that hungry, so the Splatoon, hey, wait a minute, builds a giant hair raiser from all of the treasure Agent 3's collected. The captain gets a chance to shine, showing us all why Inner Agent 3 is the stuff of nightmares, not before she conveniently sprains her tentacle. Nice. Deep Cut come to intervene yet again, but luckily you decided to be real nice and just gave away the giant razor to them for free. Utterly bamboozled by your generosity, they make Marie their new boss. Hooray for Punch Card! Agent 3 and Co. finally reach Cuttlefish, but it's too late. You remember that crystal substance I mentioned earlier that's now inside all marine life? Well, apparently Mr. Grizz needed the stuff, so it sucked it right out of him. For what? I have no idea, and the game never actually explains this. Speaking of Mr. Grizz, oh mama bear! This entire time he'd been contracting us to collect golden eggs, and later stole the great Zapfish to power up a human-made rocket to spread his fuzz ooze all across Earth.
Don't call it Armageddon though. HR isn't like that.
Thankfully, by the power of plot armor, the captain manages to bring Cuttlefish back to life by shedding a single tear. Sort of. Maybe she's not so dense after. Then, with the help of a reformed Deep Cut, Agent 3 gives chase into space. All hope seems lost when an unstoppable Mr. Grizz begins his descent back to Earth, until DJ Octavio returns for a surprise team-up. With his help, a legendary prophecy fulfilled by our buddy Small Fry, and the unstoppable power of the one and only Calamari incantation, Agent 3 defeats Mr. Grizz, prevents the return of the mammalians, and saves all marine life on planet Earth.
How much am I getting paid for this?
Now, go play Squid Games and fight over which waifu is better. Although, we all know who really wins in the